12-2, host name resolution. How does that work in Linux? Well, let's type in the host name command. That's the host name of our local computer, Kali Bill. Well, let's take a look at another place and where that's coming from. Oh, do that right. Cat is concatenate, meaning it pulls the text out of a file and displays it on the screen. It concatenates it together. That's etc/hostname. There. So this just shows that in Linux, everything is stored as a text file. So why is the host name listed there? Well, because that's where when Linux starts up, that's where it says, oh, this is my host name. All right, so of course, the one thing we didn't do in the last one was find out what our DNS was. Well, that has a different command. The DNS resolution is stored in the etc. folder, which I've always thought meant like everything they couldn't figure out where else to put. Resolve. What does resolve say to you? Resolver. DNS resolver. So right now, our DNS name server is 8.8.8.8 because I haven't rebooted my machine since I rebooted it the last time, so it's still showing that one. All right, so there's a DNS configured. Now, remember we did well, maybe we didn't in this class. We've done exercises where we've looked at the hosts file before. Remember name resolution? First, the machine looks at its local DNS cache. All right, so we've looked at our resolution. We're going to take a look at our host file, because remember that's second after what's cached by the machine, and typically it's not used anymore. But let's see what's in ours, etc/hosts. That's where it's stored, and we need sudo because this is a system file. And we're looking at it in an editor, and we may want to change it. And there it is. Oh, it is used. Yep, so it is used in Linux. It's not really used in Windows anymore. So this is defining the local host for my machine, and it's defining the local host with the fully qualified domain name and resolving it to Kali Bill. And this is, yeah, we're not using IP version 6. We're not going to worry about it. Okay, so we're going to add in this fake domain. I'll just do 1.2.3.4, and I'll just call it fake host. Let's see, .fake domain.com, and we're going to resolve it to sample, meaning if we ping sample, we should get something back. So, save. All right. Let's see if we can ping that. Yeah, see? Our resolution came from where? It wasn't in our cache, and the host file is next up in line, so there it is. So if a threat actor or bad actor can get to your host file on Linux, they can send you almost anywhere. Windows has done the same thing that Linux did. They make it read-only unless you're an administrator. So you have to have administrative access to change the host file. Well, we don't really need that anymore, that fake entry. That's just to show how a host file works, that it works exactly the same as in Linux. And since Linux or Unix predated Windows, well, Windows adopted that, and that is also part of the TCP/IP protocol, how things work. All right, so now if we do HOST or ping, if we do the same ping command, what's going to happen? Oop, there's nobody there because it isn't resolving to anything. There is no sample set up anywhere. All right, so let's do www.kernel.org and see what happens there. Well, it's an alias for this, so the host command goes through and shows how hosts resolve. So it's an alias for this, it's an alias for that. It has this particular IP address in IP version 4. Isn't that interesting? How do you know where this information came from? Well, it doesn't tell us, does it? Apparently this worked differently in the past. Okay, So we don't know. All right, so let's do dig. And this is the main like kernel for Linux thing. Yep, there we go. We're digging in, we're taking a little more look, we're finding all kinds of things that I'm not sure I understand, but there's the answer section. Here is where the tells us our DNS server. So it gives us the same information as host. We just get a little more extra stuff that we may or may not want or need or understand. All right. So dig gives us different information than NSLOKUP, and we'll do www.kernel.org. See, that gives us a different set of information. So depends on what information you want. There's several different utilities to give you host resolution information. And in this case, how it resolves to an IP address.